Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Now and Then. So, Mary, who's starting off, you or moi?
I'm going to start off because I'm hungry for fried chicken.
Okay. What has that got to do with starting off?
So glad you asked. Did you know that it is against the law to eat fried chicken in any other way except with your bare hands in
No.
Georgia? In Georgia, you have to eat fried chicken with your bare hands.
Well, so you should actually.
And it has been that way since 1965. And listen to this, in 2009, 10 years ago, a 91-year-old visitor from Louisiana was arrested because they ate their chicken with a fork.
Oh, I gotta wonder who you have the fried chicken police walking around. Oh my gosh.
I know.
It is.
It's a slippery, slidey, greasy slope.
I mean, as much as I love eating chicken with my fingers, it is messy. And not everybody gives you that, like the little water dish, or one of those little wet ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I have nothing that matches that, let me tell you. But I do have an interesting saying, okay? The first one I have is break the ice. Now, what do you know that to mean?
Break the ice means getting to, the initial difficulty of getting to know somebody and getting through that.
Okay. But originally, what it was, back when road transportation was not developed, ships were the only transportation and means of travel. So during the winter, ships would sometimes get stuck in the ice formation. So the receiving country would send out small ships to break the ice to clear the way for the trade ships. The gesture showed affiliation and understanding between the territories.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting how things have changed the meaning over the years?
So when did it start meaning like breaking the ices and getting to know people then?
It didn't say. Not everything tells you when things originated. So, you can just make up a date. I could have done that. You wouldn't have known. Pardon?
1824.
Okay, sounds good to me. Oh, and just to backtrack a little, like last week we left it where I was going to check out about ancient Egypt, cutting out the tongue of liars to see if they still do that. I couldn't find anything on that. So if they still do it, they're keeping it quiet.
Well, that's because they can't talk about it because they don't have it.
They don't have tongues. Oh my gosh. But they did honor their cats. I mean, way back when cats were, a sign of, I don't know what they were a sign of, but they did, how like India, they have their cow. Well, in Egypt, it was the cat.
It's because like the Sphinx and stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, you're next. Your turn. You're on next. What do you have?
I have so many interesting ones. It's going to keep us going for weeks, let me tell you. Because in Juneau, Alaska, you cannot have a flamingo in the barbershop.
What? My God, that's just not right. I don't know why they don't protest.
The flamingos or the barbers?
Both. Because look at it, unless it gets cold there, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think the flamingo would like to be in a nice warm barbershop?
Like, what are flamingos even doing in Juneau, Alaska?
Well, maybe they were flying. Do they fly? Maybe they were flying around and there was a big storm and they were pushed, blew out of their flight path.
Landed on the ice, walked into a barbershop.
On stilts.
And a sheriff walked by, said this should be against the law, took it to the government and had a law created.
Oh my gosh. Well, but I think the flamingo and the barber took that to the Supreme Court to try to overturn it. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah. Because I have to tell you something else. In Arizona, it is illegal to refuse someone a glass of water.
Oh.
So You could be walking down the street and just randomly say to somebody, "Can I have a glass of water?" And if they say, "No, you can't have a drink of water," they could be thrown into jail.
Oh my gosh. And what if they come up to you with a gun? I want a glass of water.
Well, they wouldn't need to have a gun because you'd be breaking law if you didn't give them water anyway.
Well, what if you meet in the desert and one person says to the other, give me a glass of water?
You need a glass of water. I bet you if you were able to track this one back, it goes back to like the days when they were prospecting and when things were really tough, right? I bet you because it was probably life-saving.
Yeah, I would think so. That's really interesting. Here's an interesting one, speaking of, butter somebody up. Now, you know, that to us means flattering somebody, right? But here's the interesting.
Hold on, let me just practice.
Okay.
Nancy, you look so beautiful today, and that floral top is just so flattering, and it's very in style. Floral, you are very in style. Oh, and small talk is amazing. Your show is fantastic. You so are the bomb. Do they still say the bomb?
Pardon?
Do they still say you are the bomb?
I don't know. Who are they?
Those people that say you are the bomb.
Oh, well, we'll have to find out. Hey, anybody, if you still say you are the bomb, let us know. You can find us on Facebook. We're both there somewhere. Okay.
Okay, so tell me about buttering up.
Okay, it was actually a religious custom in ancient India. The devout would, sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but they would throw butter balls at the statue of the gods to seek favor and forgiveness. Here, Mary, here's in your eye.
Wow, that's very interesting.
It is extremely interesting.
Wow. Did you know that when I was in India, I went to a temple where they worshiped rats?
Okay.
And there was thousands of rats running around where you walked, and they had food out for them, and you just walked among the rats.
Okay. That's interesting, you know. I mean, I'm for some reason, I'm not surprised. People everywhere or anywhere find something, like there's some churches where they have those snakes, they do their religious ceremony with snakes and such, right? I mean, it might turn some people off, but others like it. So what can you say?
The most challenging thing is you had to take your shoes off when you walked through the temple. And so when we came out, I had my hand sanitizer and I sanitized my feet.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh. I mean, because like what surprises me is like rats, like all kind of rodents, they really multiply and they can be destructive, right? I mean, do those rats, because they're being fed, do they just stay there? Do they never wander off and get in other people's, you know, in their crops or whatever it is?
I guess so. I guess maybe they throw butter balls at them and they don't anywhere.
You can see them trying to lick it off their fur.
That is very interesting. So that is an expression that actually comes from Asia. Huh.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew?
So I need to tell you that if you want to buy a car in Colorado, it is illegal for car dealers to show cars on Sundays. So no car shops on Sundays in Colorado.
Wow. Are any of our car shops open here on Sunday?
I don't think in Chilliwack they are, but I do believe in other parts of the Lower Mainland car dealerships they're open on Sundays, but not in Chilliwack.
Right. I wonder why somebody would make it illegal though. Why could they just say we're closed?
So it doesn't say that you can't sell a car, you just can't show a car.
Okay, well, you can buy this car, but you can't look at it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, here's another, and I wasn't pulling your leg. That's the expression I'm going to talk about, pulling your leg. Oh my gosh. So some people think it originated sometime in the 18th century, Now, there's a couple of different theories. Theory is that it comes from thieves and they would pull somebody's leg in order to trip them, and then that person would fall, and then they'd be easier to rob. Okay, which makes sense, you know. The second theory is gruesome, okay, because it comes from hangings in Tyburn, England. It was believed that originally people would be hired to hang onto the victim's legs for a quicker death, because sometimes hangings could be slow.
So stretch their necks and they die quicker.
Yeah, that was the whole idea. Yeah.
So Nancy, what do you think the job requirement for hanging onto someone's legs would be?
Strong hands.
Strong hands.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a poor sense of smell, because if they had stinky feet, you couldn't do it.
Or worse, what if they let go before, you know?
Yeah.
Out of fear, right?
So did you practice to be a leg holder?
It doesn't, you know, nothing. See, they only tell you parts of things because the investigator, whoever investigates things, doesn't delve deep enough, because they have to go back and find written reports, I suppose. And were there written reports? A lot of places things got burnt down or whatever, or somebody said, "Oh, let's shred this."
Yeah, let's shred this.
We don't want people.
Actually, that makes so much sense if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are just, well, I'm going to butter you up. You are just full of interesting information, and your research is amazing, Nancy.
Yours as well, Mary.
Why
Yours,
thank you, Nancy.
and I'm not pulling your leg. This is okay.
Well, once again, it's been fascinating. I've learned so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll keep looking on strange laws, and you keep thinking of weird things.
And you out there, we expect you to watch this show and like it and share it. And if you have a strange law or a saying that we haven't talked about yet, message it, put it on Messenger. Don't put it under comments, because we're going to ignore it just on the comments. We're private message. That's where we want to see it. Okay, Mary, take care.
High five.
Oh, wrong hand. Hey, I went right. Look at Mary. I went right off the screen. Until next time. Bye.